Folks, what the fuck kind of Friday Night Smackdown show was that last night? Can somebody please answer my question as to what the hell kind of Friday Night Smackdown kind of show was that last night? I mean, you know, the show was, the show was terrible, man. The show was bad. You know what? As a matter of fact, my thoughts on this week's Friday Night Smackdown. My two thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown. Here is my first thought of Friday Night Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, here is my first thought of Friday Night Smackdown. Here is my first thought of last night's Friday Night Smackdown. And you want to know what the second one is? Get ready, because it's getting ready to be obvious. It's getting ready to obviously be the same thing I said about Monday Night Raw this Monday. When I did my Monday Night Raw review. Get ready, because the answer is getting ready to be the same answer I said about Monday Night Raw. I said about this Monday Night Raw. So, my second thoughts about Friday Night Smackdown was that, it fucking sucked. My second thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown is, my second thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown, it fucking sucked. It really fucking sucked. You know what? As a matter of fact, hang on a second. Hold that thought for a second. As a matter of fact, the show sucked so bad that even JD from NY on his podcast, on his Friday Night Smackdown review, said it sucked.
Tonight's show was Smackdown. My opening thoughts on Smackdown. The show sucked. The show sucks everything.
So bad that even he said it. There you go, folks. The show fucking sucked. JD's absolutely right. The show fucking sucked. For a lot of reasons. Number one, the freaking New Day was on Friday Night Smackdown. They showed up. They came to the ring. They cut a terrible fucking promo. And then you got Lucha House Party cutting yet another terrible fucking promo. And then you got Miz and Morrison coming to the ring. Well, let's just say Friday Night Smackdown, the show, the whole thing fucking sucked. Even the simple fact that at the end Triple H came out and celebrated his 25 years. The whole sucked. The whole show. The whole fucking show fucking sucked. This week's Friday Night Smackdown was a terrible, terrible show. And I'm going to say this at the end again. I don't even have any other words to say other than, anyways, moving on. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, it's Brendan Ingram here, back from another live stream today. So I'm going to be reviewing this horrible, horrible fucking Friday Night Smackdown. I'm going to be reviewing last night's horrible, terrible, sucking fucking Friday Night Smackdown. You know what? Now I can go ahead and confirm and say that NXT is way better than not only This Wednesday's NXT was not only better, way better than this Monday's Monday Night Raw, but it was also better than this Friday Night SmackDown. So out of all the three brands, NXT should be number one. Just to put it out there. Because NXT is doing a fabulous job on their brand and on their shows. These NXT superstars are cutting great promos in the ring. You got these great video packages. And that Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae video package was so freaking brilliant, man. I loved it. And the Doomsday. Remember I said on my Twitter, I posted on my Twitter that the Doomsday was one of the three reasons why the NXT show was so amazing. The Doomsday Clock Vantage video Vantage was really, really good. And the tag team match between Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez is pretty good. Oh yeah. Even the freaking Tony Nese versus Kushida match was great. Hell. Yeah, so you definitely, therefore, for the simple fact, well, you definitely should say that NXT is way more better than Friday Night SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. For the simple fact that NXT, again, they give us the greatest matches. They give us the greatest video packages of the superstars cutting their promos about their upcoming matches, like Io Shirai's for an example. Man, that freaking video package from Io Shirai was fucking brilliant, man. See, I love what NXT is doing on their show. They're doing way more better than Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, both shows that currently did terrible this week on their shows. So before I get started with this review, by the way, hit that like, subscribe button, and turn on the bell for all notifications so you won't miss my reviews I do on this channel every single week. It seems like this week, it went down because of the simple fact that Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown this week, both shows sucked. And NXT show this week was brilliant. How in the world are you going to have one show brilliant and not have both shows brilliant? It seemed like all three of the shows should have been brilliant. But only one show came out victorious this week, and that's NXT. Wow. What a pain in the ass for Friday Night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw. Wow. I mean, when I say Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown show sucked, it really, really sucked. To a point where JD had to say this.
There was nothing important on this show. Money in the Bank qualifiers, nobody cares about. Tag team title match in the women's division, nobody cares about. Nobody. The fact that I had to see Alexa Bliss and Dana Brooke in the same match in the same ring, bro, that's like these shit nightmares are made of.
So yeah, there you go. There was his reaction to it, to all the matches that happened on Friday Night SmackDown. My reaction would be the same reaction as JD's reaction right now. My reaction would be the exact same reaction as his. Man, when he said this when he said this Friday Night SmackDown show sucked this Friday night, yeah, yesterday's Friday Night SmackDown show did suck. It did. And it's so bad that I can't even talk right now. This week's Friday Night SmackDown sucked so bad that now I can't even get out what I'm going to say. I can't even freaking talk right. And now I'm sitting here stuttering because of how freaking bad this freaking Friday Smackdown show was. See what I mean? See what I mean? This is how people get frustrated. People get frustrated because of WWE delivering bad shows like this. Now you see why people are on here. People are on here doing their reviews. Now you see why a lot of these wrestling channels are on here doing their reviews like they should. Because they're out here telling people that, hey, is this what company you want to see with shows sucking this bad? You know, is this what you want? The kind of company that freaking sucks? Like, you know, for an example, like the brands, like this week's Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown. So, ladies and gentlemen, moving on. I don't want to go any more further than what I am going through right now. I'm not going any further than what I am right now. it's just a waste of my breath, man. You might as well say the show sucked. I'm just gonna say it like that. The show sucked. Moving on. So, be sure you follow me on Twitter, like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitch, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started with this review. So, opening segment. Big E started this, and this opening segment, oh my god, I did not freaking like it. Oh, it was so terrible. The beginning of Friday Night Smackdown was so terrible that I about wanted to turn the fucking channel. Like what JD says about Nia Jax. JD says if he sees Nia Jax, people should turn the channel. Yeah, at first I disagreed, but now I agree. Because the way he threw Kairi Singh, the way she threw, I called her a he. Oh my god. That's pretty funny. The way she threw her, I wish I did throw her, but the way she threw her into the buckle, into the corner, yeah, you might as well say that was a Raw Butch. The way she threw her into the corner, yeah, that was, that lit a fire in Kairi Singh. That led to a backstage heat between Nia Jax and Kairi Singh. It said that Kairi Singh cussed Nia Jax out according to that wrestling channel that I was watching a few minutes ago. So anyway. Asuka was probably not there to watch it. She's probably speaking Japanese like she normally does. Nah, I'm just kidding. But anyways. But for real, it did lead to an actual backstage heat between Nia Jax and Kairi Singh. And Kairi Singh cussed, I was told that Kairi Singh had cussed out Nia Jax. Yeah, I mean, you can't blame the Japanese professional wrestler for cussing out an American professional wrestler. Come on, man. I mean, that was just not right. And there is a lot of people speculating some Nia Jax problems here. And yeah, one of Nia Jax's problems is she hurts women in the ring. Like, sort of like what Shayna Baszler does. The Queen of Spades. Sort of like what Shayna Baszler does. Yeah, she hurts people. Hey, isn't that what Becky Lynch does? She hurts people in her finisher submission. The disarmer. Hey, isn't that what, who else? Let me think, who else? Hey, isn't that what Awesome Kong did when she came to WWE and she got fired? Or she quit it? Isn't that the same incident that Awesome Kong had in WWE? Hey, I think it was. And I think that's what led to her quitting anyway. But, hey, I'm just saying. I'm just speaking values here. I think there is a Nia Jax problem going on. And the fans, a lot of fans have are still reacting to that. Yeah, folks, a lot of fans are still reacting to that. But this freaking opening segment on Friday Night SmackDown, oh my god, I don't even want to even go any further on reading this, and I have to. I'm doing this for people who didn't get to watch Friday Night SmackDown last night, of course. This is what this review is for. And it's for views as well. I mean, why am I even wasting my time doing this review when I know this week's Friday Night SmackDown was going to suck to begin with? I mean, come on. Week after week after week, we keep getting bad Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown shows. Week after week after week, it just doesn't make any sense to me. What is WWE going to do to make the Raw ratings and SmackDown ratings go up? This week's Raw ratings have been a disaster according to WrestleTalk. And you know what? They really have. It turns out that is true. Raw ratings went down a lot. And not only is the Raw ratings went down, this week's Friday Night SmackDown ratings might have also went down because of the simple fact that the show fucking sucked. Like JD said on the script, Monday Night Raw was terrible, and I believed him. It was. And for the simple fact that, you know, there wasn't really no good segments on there, and there wasn't really no good connection, you know. There was no audience. I mean, come on. There was no audience. There was not any good matches on the show. Show fucking sucked, just like Friday Night SmackDown did this week. You know, I'm just gonna keep saying it. I mean, it's like I'm repeating it all over again because you know what? I'm telling the truth. It did. I don't even want to say nothing else but that. But anyways, the opening segment, Big E started out with his magical voice yelling, more like his fucking terrible fucking magical voice. Yelling, people at home, we shouldn't dare to be shower as we feel the power. Yeah, it's more like feeling the power of freaking bunch of freaking clowns and retards. Those two are. More like the power of clowns. Then Big E and Kofi came out, and they were very happy about being 8-time champions. But you want to know who wasn't happy about them being 8-time champions? Me. Oh, you want to know who else weren't happy about them being 8-time champions? Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho, hello. Yeah. So, therefore, Miz Morrison, that's what led to them coming out. Because of what I'm about to read to you, what Big E and Kofi Kingston said. So, Kofi gave Big E props for winning the titles last week. Big E had to remind Kofi that there are no fans to applaud to him. They don't even need no fans. They don't deserve anything in WWE because you know why? Because they fucking suck. That's why. Hey, shouldn't people be saying the same thing for the Monday Night Messiah? Look. He had JD showed a recent photo of him with a pink hairnet on his head looking like a jellyfish last year in his video. But first of all, this is not Monday Night Raw. This is my SmackDown review. So, we're just gonna stick to that at the moment. So, Big E had to remind Kofi that there are no fans to applaud him. They talked about how they have more title reigns than Edge and Christian. Demolition, the New Age Outlaws, and more. I just want to say, who fucking cares? No one cares about you guys having more titles than Edge and Christian and freaking Demolition, Outlaws, and more. Oh my god, thanks you Lucha House Party for coming out to interrupting the New Day. Oh my god, terrible freaking team. Terrible freaking clowns. Ugh. Lucha House Party came out. Congratulate the New Day. Dorado said, what's not Lucha lit is sitting in the back and watching our other teams get opportunities. They want to challenge for the titles. Then Miz and Morrison, hey, ho, ho, came out. Those my guys right there. Hey, ho, ho. I thought they was going to come out and do that music, and I guess they didn't do it. I was like, oh man, when they came out, I was thinking they was going to do it. I was like, oh man, they don't do it next time. Anyways, as Morrison came down and walked right past them to the ring. Yay, please do, because the New Day fucking sucks. I fucking hate that team. I don't want to see that team on TV. No one wants to see the New Day on TV, especially most of the people that are not fans of the New Day, which includes me and JD. Of course, I know JD doesn't like the New Day because they fucking suck. I don't blame him. I don't either. And I know, and I darn sure know that somebody else besides us don't like the New Day either. Some of my subscribers don't even like the New Day. Now that's something to laugh about. That's freaking funny. Oh my god. Oh, that's just like saying that MVP's son is a fan of Rey Mysterio and not a fan of his own father. Yeah, I said it. MVP's son is not a fan of his father. That's freaking funny. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. They said the New Day's win was cheap, and they didn't deliver that titles. So Morrison said they've never beat them on a 2-on-2 match. It sounds like I'm speaking mixture of Japanese and English when I talk. Oh my god. I don't know. Just my deep voice just sounds like I don't know. I might end up taking that back, what I said, if I feel like I'm talking different. So, Morrison said they've never beat them on a 2-on-2 match. Well, you know what? I hate to break it, but they do got a point. They do got a point. They never technically beat them for the titles. They wanted their titles back, and they want them tonight. So the Lucha House Party butted in, and Metal League started speaking Spanish. Miz told Morrison to interpret it, but he lied and said Metal League tried to put Miz over. Big E said that's not what Metal League said. Then he said he's not repeating it. The Forgotten Sons came down next. The Miz asked who the hell are they? Cutter introduced them. He said they actually served their country. They continued to introduce themselves. This soon resulted in a brawl. Spears, Morrison, and Lucha House Party left. Forgotten Sons laid out Kofi and Big E. They played a following video of H's beginning in 1995. They showed the Miz and Morrison backstage. Renee Young was there and asked them what they're going to do about it. The Lucha House Party. they told Renee that they're having a match with Lucha House Party tonight, which the match which they did have the match last night. So it said, what is Renee Young doing in Orlando? Well, it's Drew Gulak versus not Daniel Bryan, but Baron Corbin. Yeah, imagine having another match with Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. That would be an awesome match. Yeah, yada, yada, whatever. But they did put on a good match together when they first did actually have a match together in the Friday Smackdown ring on Fox. Hey, wasn't that in the arena where at the time when the fans were there? That match happened when the fans were in the arena, right? I don't think so. I think my eyes just went blind for a minute. Anyways, so yeah, the first match of Friday Night SmackDown was Drew Gulak versus Baron Corbin. To be honest, I was not interested in watching this match. In my opinion right now, I was not completely interested in watching this match. I didn't even want to freaking watch it. I got to a point where I just fucking got on my phone and got off of it, got on it, got off of it. It was a sign that I didn't want to watch it. I'd rather just have Baron Corbin win than Drew Gulak, because I don't think Drew Gulak's ready to be in the Money in the Bank yet, to be honest. He has a lot to prove before he can be in the Money in the Bank, honestly. Baron Corbin has more experience than anybody, has more Money in the Bank experience than anybody on the Friday SmackDown roster. And if anything, Daniel Bryan actually has more experience than anybody in the Money in the Bank when it comes to Money in the Bank ladder matches. Especially Jeff Hardy. Talk about the enigma. Yeah. So you got 3 people. Oh, actually, Sheamus, make that 4. You got 4 people that have more experience than anybody else on that SmackDown roster. As far as Money in the Bank ladder match goes. As far as the Money in the Bank pay-per-view goes. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So, here is what happened with the match between... Wait for it. Oh, damn it. Drew Gulak and King fucking Corbin. Oh my god, this match was so boring to watch. I literally just wanted to fall asleep watching this. I'm dead serious. I was just, I was out of it. So they wrestled in the ring for a bit, and then Gulak got pumped up and sent Corbin outside. Drew then hit a stun gun, drop kick on Corbin, that went him over the announce table as they cut to commercial. So Corbin did his spot, where he runs around the turnbuckle and hits a clothesline for a 2 count. When they go back for commercial, Bryan was at ringside encouraging. Hold on, excuse me for a minute. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm back. Hold on, excuse me. No, I'm sorry, I'm back again. I just don't really like the show. I just didn't really like how the show went this week. Can't help that I'm cutting my mic on and off. I can't help it. The show sucks. Okay? I can do what I want. This is my review. You know, I can cut it on, cut it off if I want to. Whether people like it or not right now. But I'm actually doing this review for people who didn't get to watch Friday Night Smackdown to be real about it. So, anyways. Yeah, Brian was at ringside, encouraging Gulak, as Corbin kept using his size to overpower Gulak. Corbin stalked Gulak down in the corner, but Gulak pressed on. Drew hit a crossbody for a 2 count, and then Corbin went outside. Drew sent Corbin into the steps by hitting a dragon screw on him. They returned to the ring, and Drew almost got a 2 count. Nakamura and Cesaro grabbed Bryan. It's almost like I got drainage in my throat or something. Anyways, Nakamura and Cesaro grabbed Bryan, and they sent him into the wall. Drew got distracted, and Corbin used this opportunity to hit the end of days and got the win. Now Corbin's in the Money in the Bank match. After the match was over, Cesaro Nakamura held Gulak, and he knocked him in the head with his scepter. Sami Zayn must still be out after his wisdom teeth surgery. Who fucking cares? That's all I got to say. Anyways, they mentioned Gronk's trade to Tampa Bay. Who fucking cares about that? To the simple fact that I don't even like football anyway, so who fucking cares? Anyways, they mentioned that Gronk is still 24/7 champion too. Yeah, don't care about that either. Anyways, it was Sheamus versus an enhancement talent. Sheamus won very quickly while screaming about demanding respect after a brogue kick. He won the match. I like how they are continuing to give Sheamus that push. This is perfect job by WWE. This is what I'm talking about. See, if they can keep doing this with other young talent, the possibility that they'll get an opportunity for the WWE champion or a Universal champion opportunity. Anyways, it's good that WWE is giving Sheamus a push. I don't know what kind of storyline they're planning on putting him in, but it better be in one with a returning Lars Sullivan. I know that, because we haven't seen Lars Sullivan in like probably 7 or 8 months. I'm hoping we will see a Lars Sullivan and Sheamus feud, to where we can see Lars Sullivan return and turn face, so he would be a babyface and not a heel. So that way Sheamus will have somebody to feud with. Well, if anything, he should feud with Lars Sullivan. That guy is a size. I could see a monster versus monster matchup. Sheamus versus Lars Sullivan, that would be a good match. I could see that match happening. So after Sheamus' victory, they played a Jeff Hardy retrospective video about the Hardys WrestleMania 33 return. So it was Miz and Morrison versus the Lucha House Party. You know, Miz and Morrison, hey, ho ho. The best guys in the house here. Johnny Drip Drip and Miz. Now, they're doing their usual gangster kind of music. Well, it's kind of funny though. Kind of funny the way I actually said that. because I'm not even a gangster. So, there you go. I don't want to be one. No thanks. I'd rather be myself than be a gangster. I'm being real by that. I'd rather be a gangster than myself. I mean, I'd rather be myself than a gangster. I'm just playing. Seriously though, I'd rather be myself than a darn gangster. Who wants to be? And besides, who would want to be a gangster? Nobody around here wants to be. Nobody in my neighborhood would want to be a gangster anyway, because it could lead to drugs and all kind of other stuff. Anyways, so here's the next match. It's Miz and Morrison. Hey hey ho ho versus the Lucha House Party. So let me break it down for you. This is what simply happened. I'll tell you what simply happened with this match. It was quick and it was fast pacing action in the ring. Yeah, it was quick, fast pacing action. Hold on. Sorry about that noise. I should have cut off my mic when I was doing that, but I cut it off that time. But anyways, it was a fast pacing matchup. Hold on, as soon as I look for Jay Dorado. There he is. So, here's what happened with this match. So, Sammy stuck around and knocked Michael Cole's headset off for some reason. He looked mad at Cole. The match started. Miz took advantage over Dorado early on. Morrison took the tag and he hit a slingshot elbow drop for a 2 count. Dorado hit an arm drag when Morrison was, which he called showboating. Then he tagged Metalik, who almost got a pinfall. Dorado got the tag and Morrison put him down and hit a running knee before tagging Miz. They hit a double gutbuster, and Dorado tried to fight back, but Miz kept beating him down. He tagged Morrison in again, and they took turns kicking Dorado before Morrison hit a standing shooting star press for a 2 count. So then Miz took the tag as Dorado created separation. Metalik got the tag anyway and took some chops to Miz before flipping and catching a right hand. Then Metalik hit a bulldog and climbed up top. Miz got his feet up on the dive. Metalik sold as Miz gloated in front of 0 fans. Metalik reversed out of a skull-crushing finale and got the win. So the next match was Sasha Banks versus Lacey Evans. And the Sasha Banks and the Lacey Evans that I'm referring to, the Sasha Banks, Lacey Evans I'm referring to is, wait for it, let's get that up there first, wait for it, there we go. That is the Sasha Banks I am referring to. Now, as far as Lacey Evans I'm referring to is this one. This is the Lacey Evans I'm referring to. There we go. So here's what happened with the match last night between Sasha Banks and Lacey Evans on Friday Night SmackDown. So Banks had a fan that was a picture of Evans' daughter. That was a nice touch. The match started out with Evans going insane on Banks and Bayley. She tried to brawl with both of them before Banks took a cheap shot into the post and got into the ring for a 2 count. Banks continued to take advantage after that. Lacey fought out of the corner and hit 2 clotheslines before nailing a running knee, but Banks rolled out to the apron and drove Lacey Evans' shoulder into the post. Banks hit her double knee drop from the top for a 2 count. Then she applied another hold. It looked like Evans' mouth was busted. At least it looked that way. It appeared that she had blood all over her teeth. Then Evans landed her double knee spot before Banks head off the ring post over and over again. They fought on the top rope. Banks got down to wedge Evans' hand between her foot and the turnbuckle. Banks hit a powerbomb and got a bank statement, which Evans rolled out well. Then Evans landed the woman's right for a 2 count, but Bayley put her foot on the ropes. Evans grabbed Bayley and then Banks went for a pin, but the ref didn't see her because of Bayley, so then Evans kicked out and hit another women's right for the win. So after Lacey Evans' victory, Tamina came out and took Bayley down with a kick as she was leaving. They aired a promo video about the history between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. They aired a highlight package from last week's Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose segment. That segment's really good. Sonya Deville cut the fucking promo of her life last Friday night on Friday SmackDown. So here's what happened with the match between this fast-paced tag team match between Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, and Carmella and Dana Brooke. Brooke started out with a drop kick that took Cross out of the ring. Carmella hit a dive on Bliss, and Cross dropped Bella. This was chaos to start out the match before a commercial break started. You gotta admit, Carmella and Dana Brooke were still doing a really good job, but honestly, I don't think nobody cared about this match. Nobody wanted to see this match, and I think everybody already knew who was going to come out on top. We knew who was going to win the tag team titles. We knew who was still going to be the women's tag team champions. So, anyway, Mella had the upper hand on Bliss when they came back from the break. Cross broke up a pinfall attempt, but then Brooke took her out with a flipping elbow on the outside. Bliss put Mella down, and then Carmella stopped Bliss on the top rope. Cross tagged herself in as Mella hit a Rana. Cross got a near fall on Mella, and then tagged Bliss again. Mella kicked Cross twice, but then Cross and Bliss hit a modified 3D for the win. Sorry, y'all. I'm having some allergy problems here, so just bear with me. I'm having some kind of, it's allergy season, so I'm having some kind of, when you're outside and you snort, and sometimes the pollen kind of bothers your throat a little bit. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the main event, we had Triple H 25-year celebration. Triple H didn't get much out before HBK came down. HBK had 2 words: social distancing. Michael sends out hundreds of invitations, but nobody showed up. At least Cole and Corey showed up. Showed Triple H. HBK brought up his own 25-year anniversary. Triple H said it's hard to boil it down to just one. HBK then said he never felt he never had a. It looked like they put never felt for a second. For a minute I overlooked it. But anyways, HBK then said he never had a 25-year celebration. Triple H said when he gets to the office, heads are gonna roll because he should have had one. So then they showed a bunch of DX bloopers through the years. Michaels brought HH's 14th World Championship that he said he likes to think of himself as Mr. WrestleMania, but it pales in comparison to what you did at WrestleMania. Then they showed all of HH's losses at Mania. All 13 losses. HBK said, when you see it like that, you're not that good. Triple H asked HBK how many losses he has at Mania. HBK said, This isn't about me. Focus, HBK said. HBK was telling Triple H to focus. In other words, Triple H was more focused on Shawn Michaels than he was on himself. But when Vince McMahon came out, that was a different story there. That wasn't. When Vince McMahon came out, that was a whole different story there, and that wasn't. Whole different story there, and that wasn't. Talking about these guys. D-Generation X, these guys. These guys is what I'm referring to. Anyways, Triple H credited the icons he shared the ring with. HBK then said everything went wrong when he met Stephanie McMahon. Triple H's phone rang. Stephanie called him to FaceTime. He called him on FaceTime. She brought up how Shawn was talking about her. She said she's watching live right now and he's mocking her. Stephanie started to say, "You tell that no good lazy eyes." Then Triple H hung up the phone. Shawn brought up Ric Flair, and guess who called Triple H on FaceTime? Ric Flair. The Nature Boy said hey and told him not to let Shawn Michaels super kick him at the end of the segment. And Triple H's phone started ringing again, and Flair was crying. Then they went to commercial. When they came back from commercial, Road Dogg was on the phone with him. He couldn't believe that they were on the air. The segment was lasting the whole 20 minutes. Triple H said they cleared it to go as long as they want. Then McMahon himself came out just as HBK said that they didn't even get to the Katie Vick segment yet. Shawn Michaels said he'll step back and let him enjoy this moment with his father-in-law. Vince said in normal circumstances they'd give him a hug. Vince said that most of the fans would be chanting boring instead of Triple H. This man brought the Gobbledygook Gawker and said that it's not like Triple H did with Katie Vick. Then he said, this performance is like Bailey. This is your life. That Vince said that he loves Triple H and HBK. He also stated that Triple H's performance tonight was god awful. He said it was rotten. Then Vince McMahon said, let's wrap it up. Padre. Then Vince McMahon left and turned the lights out on Triple H and Shawn Michaels. They played crickets to end the show. As HBK said, story of your career. Okay. I personally want to say this week's Friday Night Smackdown sucked. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. This is the end of my Friday Night Smackdown review. Thanks for watching. I will be reviewing next Monday's Monday Night Raw, which is the Monday coming up. So, hopefully Monday Night Raw will be a whole lot better, which I don't think it's not. Let's be honest. For the past 3-4 weeks, Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown shows have been terrible. So, there you go. This is the end of Friday Night SmackDown review. Thanks for watching. See y'all later. I am out. Peace.